So welcome back to Third Rate Content. Today we're going to be investigating some arch, history, mystery, folklore and legend as we explore Burgs, Hillfort, very close to Baston Hill, just south of Shrewsbury. We'll have a closer look at the Ordnance Survey map in a minute. I've got one for this one. So buckle up and I'll see you out here. And as you can see, today we are just south of Shrewsbury in Baston Hill, as I say, and we're just right around here, just making our way up this lane to the Burg Hillfort. I'd never noticed it before, but here it is on the Ordnance Survey map. And the sharp-eyed amongst you, just going off the subject a bit, and excuse the shadow from my phone there. Sharp-eyed among you may have noticed that the intro from today's video doesn't quite match the rest of the video. I had a few decisions to make when I was editing, and I decided to shoot a new intro and outro. So there you go. And I was out filming another video when I did it. It won't matter to the video, the continuity of it. But there you go, the Burgs, Baston Hill. On with the video. So we're just on the northern tip of Baston Hill, and what we're looking at just behind me is a hill fort, a bivalent hill fort, and that means that there is 2 rings of earthworks circling it. What I find so striking about hill forts is you walk past them, walking your dog or just strolling, and you wouldn't even know it's a hill fort, but once you start looking at them closely, you realize there's so much time and organization gone into them. And what's more amazing is the supposedly remote time in history when all this happened, which they say was about 900 BC when the first hill fort started appearing, and then they evolved into the bivalent hill forts like we're seeing here at the Burgs by about 700 BC. Should we go and have a closer look? Probably trespassing, but you know, leave it to third rate content for getting in trouble. So let's go and have a look. Yes, it looks like this area has been quarried at some point in the past. And the lane we're off, we've just come off, it's come up here, it's called Sharpstones Lane, and I imagine it got the name from the quarrying that's been going on in this location for, I imagine, thousands of years. There is actually a hill just to the north of the quarry called Sharpstones Hill. As you can see, the quarry is still in full operation there. Yeah, and this tree root behind me is absolutely massive. I don't know when it came down, but it must have been in recent years. But the rootage on it it's huge. Hill forts can be found right across Europe. There's probably 3,000 of them in the British Isles alone. The main sort of hill fort areas in England are Wessex, the Welsh Marches, where we are today, and the southeast. Hill forts like this one are said to have evolved from basic palisaded settlements earlier in the Bronze Age. Just behind me, there's like a sort of gap in the earthworks, and this probably would have been the entrance into the Hillfort in its heyday. I don't think there's been a lot of archaeological work here at the Burgs, but Hillforts could be and were often built on the sites of Neolithic causeways and enclosures. So that informed the decision of the builders of the Hillforts where they would site them sometimes. It's very interesting. It goes back to the layers upon layers of history. And when you consider you've got the Greek Orthodox Church built upon a Neolithic site of significance and burial ground about a mile away in Sutton Farm, it does make you wonder if there could have been something here at the Burgs going way back to the Neolithic period, which ran from 10,000 BC to 4,000 BC. Mind-boggling numbers. I'll leave a link to the video down below. Can you believe it was 2 years ago we made that visit? It's not quite 10,000 years though, to be fair. And just over here, in the distance, you can see another major hill fort, the Wrekin, just peeking out there. And we're on the Lith Hill fort. Of course, it's not known exactly when this hill fort would have been in use, but its name is a bit odd. It's called the Burgs, which would indicate a Danish use or Danish association with it. But of course, this would have been built thousands of years before the Vikings coming over to Britain. So maybe it was reused in the Viking times and then took the name on in the 14th century, because that's sort of when it's known by the Burgs. From? Because just over there where the Meal Brace retail park is now would have been a Roman camp stroke settlement in the days of Vernoculum Roxeter. Yeah, and that looks like the highest part of the hill fort behind that fence. We're not going to go behind there today, but it looks out all over South Shropshire. Very close to here, 7 or 8 miles or 10 miles, you know, under 20 miles, is the Burr, which we have mentioned several times on this channel, just near Baschurch, the supposed, perhaps, burial place of King Arthur, but definitely, at the very least, a hill fort or settlement of our ancestors. But that is also known as the Burr, very close to the place name where we are now, at the hill fort we are now. So that's a similarity in Shropshire, and it's yet another hill fort that we've visited here on Third Rate Content. I think there's about only another 55 to go. Wonder if these rocks were what brought the people here to, as well as the probably natural hill that was here already, what brought them here to fortify this area and make it a secure zone. And this just coming out of the quarry cleans the wheels of the wagons just before they get on the main road. Very thoughtful. But anyway, we've seen the hill fort. Yeah, and these houses, or houses, not bungalows, are right on the edge of the hill fort. I don't know if that adds to their hauntedness, but it wouldn't bother me. In fact, I'd like to see some ghosts from the Iron Age or the Bronze Age because I do find it interesting that everybody who does paranormal investigations and ghost tours and whatnot, all the ghosts are from the last 200 years. There's very few ghosts from the Roman era or before that you hear about, and when you think about all the remnants these generations left, you'd think that it would be represented by ghosts, but no, it's all your classic Gothic sort of ghosts you expect to find in a Victorian church generally. If you know of any more, tell us in the comments. But I don't know whether that phenomenon that I just mentioned says more about ghosts or about the people looking for ghosts. You decide. So thank you for watching to the end of today's third-rate content. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a really good investigate, I thought, of a site that I had never really, well, I'd never heard of it. Driven past it on the road probably hundreds and hundreds of times, never even thought that it was there. So yeah, it was a new one for me. Hope you enjoyed it, and if I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and all that stuff if you wish. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.